Perfectionism. Most of us have experienced this to some degree in one or many areas of our lives. It's very different for everyone. So, someone may experience it in maybe the artistic field, right, with music or some sort of artistic creation. Others may experience it in the household or at work. But when we do, it really can kind of just pump on the brakes a little bit as far as what we're trying to do or accomplish or present to the world. And that's what we're going to be talking about today for this Tapping Tuesday. Specifically, how perfectionism somehow has become something to strive for, something that's rewarded, similar to hustle culture, right? And how settling, right, for good enough is kind of shamed, or at least it has been, whereas there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. And as I was thinking about this prior to hitting, that start button on the live, I was thinking, wow, I also am feeling a little bit of, I don't want to press that button to start this because what if I'm not perfect, right? What if I stumble on my words? What if I have a pause in the tapping round and I blank on what I was going to say? It happens. It's natural. It's part of life. And to be honest, people relate to you a lot better when you're not perfect. Anyway, the point of, or I guess the focus rather, of the tapping is going to be on why we have this need, or we think we have this need to be perfect in whatever it is that we may be doing. Maybe it's a project you're working on, or like an article, and you've had someone review it and they say, wow, this is great, looks like you're done, you're ready to hit that publish button, but something is holding you back. Wait, no, I need to make more edits. There's one excuse, there's another excuse. So part of that is I want it to be perfect. Another part is fear, right? Fear of what? Well, that may vary for most of us, but I will volunteer for myself, and hopefully you can relate. There's certainly a fear of judgment. So if I put out this project or product or whatever it is into the world, and I think that it is perfect, it is as good as I could possibly make it, and I try so hard and people don't like it, what does that mean? What does that mean about me? Ultimately, it shouldn't mean anything because we all have different preferences. However, it's not an uncommon thing to take these sorts of responses to heart and internalize it to mean there's something wrong with me. There's a judgment, which even that word has a bad connotation, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad or good. We use our own personal judgment to make decisions every day, but we don't think of it that way, and that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and do some tapping on this fear of judgment, right, that leads us to strive to be perfect so that people don't judge us, right? So we're going to see how this goes. Hopefully you don't judge me if I stumble on any words in this tapping round. And yeah, we'll see how we feel afterwards, right? So let's go ahead and start with a nice easy breath in through the nose as always. Blowing it out through the mouth. All right, so just follow along through the tapping points and repeat after me. Even though I am afraid of being judged, so I need to be perfect. I accept myself and these feelings. Even though a part of me is afraid to be judged, and so I try to do everything perfectly, not to make a mistake. I choose to completely love and accept myself anyway. Even though being perfect is a cover for this fear of judgment. And to be honest, it's a lot of work. I choose to love and accept myself and all my feelings. All right, top of the head. I need to be perfect. Otherwise, people will judge me. If I am only good enough, they might think I'm a slacker. And I'm not a slacker. I try hard. I do my best. But I still need to be perfect. To be better. To do more. To be more perfect. And to be honest, it's pretty stressful. When I'm trying so hard to be perfect, I feel stressed out. I feel it in my body. And it doesn't feel good. And I just want to be done with whatever it is. And in moments like that, I wonder about what if I could be just good enough? If I could be good enough, what would that mean about me? If I could do my best and not stress about the details and simply say, when it's done, it's done. And press that publish button. Turn in that project. Give that speech. And be okay with good enough. I wonder what would be the worst thing that would happen? Or what would be the best thing that could happen? Maybe if I settle for good enough, people will still judge me. And if people judge me anyway, does it really matter if I'm perfect? Might it be okay if I settle for good enough? Because this way I have less stress and I have room for improvement. And with perfect, there's no room for improvement. That bar is set very high. And I'm not done growing yet. So I wonder if I could give myself permission to let things be good enough once in a while and see how that feels for me. I can notice how stressed I feel when I allow good enough to be okay. I can notice how people respond to good enough. And I can give myself credit and cut myself some slack to be good enough once in a while. I know I'm not perfect, and that's okay. No one is perfect. And judgment doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. And I give my body permission to believe this. And even if it doesn't, that's okay. Because I am going to love and take care of it no matter what. So I choose to release this fear of judgment now, as much as is possible for me. Release it from my body, my muscles, my cells. And welcome in some compassion and acceptance of being good enough. Because right now, I am good enough. Just by being human. And that actually feels pretty good. All right, so we're going to release that. Shake out your arms, do any kind of stretch or wiggle that you may feel inclined to do. Of course, we're going to take a nice, easy breath, breathing in through the nose and blowing it out through the mouth. So, I will say, for me, this is helpful because I have had something that I'm working on, and I've been in that position, that place of, I need to do more. I need to make it perfect. It's not done, even though it's done, right? Making these excuses. And like I said earlier, we all go through this, and I'm going to certainly put my money where my mouth is and let it be good enough. And with that, I'll go ahead and share with you now. Tomorrow there will be a written announcement, but you'll get the verbal one here now today in this live. I am going to be starting a community group tapping series. The first one will be at the end of the month on Wednesday, August 30th at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. It will be about 35 minutes, 45 minutes, and we'll just, it'll be a space where individuals can come together and we'll tap together in a group setting and focus on issues or topics that are important and impactful to you. It's a great way to be able to try out tapping, like in a safe, inclusive, supportive environment. It's risk-free, it's low cost, so it's a really great way to get into it in a more interactive way versus just watching videos where it's just one-sided. You don't have any interaction. So I'm excited about that. Again, the information for that, written information rather, will be coming out tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And I encourage you to embrace good enough, release that stress of making things perfect or fear of judgment, because you know what? Haters gonna hate. That's basically what it comes down to. So don't let that stop you. And if you need help breaking out of that fear or mindset, you know what to do. Let me know. I would be happy and honored to help you out with that. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this so we don't go on forever. But again, please keep your eyes peeled for the announcement tomorrow about the community group tapping series that will be starting at the end of the month. And of course, any other updates, I will send them out accordingly. So as always, I will see you on the next Tapping Tuesday. Take care and keep shining, everyone.